Hello friends, welcome to Java class. In the previous class, we discussed about some of Java operators like relational operators and logical operators. Okay. So in this class, let us discuss about increment and decrement operators in Java programming language. So I already told you about the purpose of using the increment and decrement operators in the Java. So these are the very useful operators which are generally not found in or which are generally found in many other languages like C, C++ programming languages. So those operators are increment and decrement operators. So the main purpose of using these operators are, so we can increment the value of a variable by 1 as and when we required, and that operator is called as an increment operator. And the value of a variable is decremented by 1, so that operator is called as a decrement operators. So for an increment operator we are using a 2 successive plus sign, and for decrement operator we are using 2 successive negative signs or a minus sign. So let us see the first one, increment operators. So this is a symbol which is called as an increment operator, and we already know that there are two types of increment operators are there. Those are pre-increment operator and post-increment operator. So in the pre-increment operator, the value is incremented at first, after that result is computed, that is called as a increment operators. See here, the value is incremented first and then the result is computed, that operator is called as a pre-increment operator. And the next one is post-increment operator. In this case, the value is first used for the computing purpose, or the value is first computed the result, and then the value of a variable is incremented, that is called as a post increment. Okay. So see again, next one is a decrement operator. So in the decrement operator, the value of a variable is decremented by 1. So for decrement operator we are using a 2 successive minus sign, and in this case, as I told, the value will be decremented by 1, and again there are two types. First one is a post decrement operator and a pre-decrement operator. In the post decrement operator case, the value is first used for computing the result, and then the value is decremented, or it decrements the value of a variable. That operator is called as a decrement operator. And in the pre-decrement operator, the value is decremented first and then result is computed, that is called as a pre-decrement operator. So this is about some simple description about a decrement and increment operator. So let us see the some facts or some cases where and when we must not use the decrement and increment operators. So at first we should remember that these decrement and increment operators used only with the variables, but these must not be used with the constant values. But in some cases, if we try to use these increment and decrement operator with a constant, in that case we will get a compile time error. This point we must remember. Okay. So these operator must be used with the variables and must not be used with a constant. If we used, we will get a compile time error. So let us see the example for this statement or for this point. So see, here I am writing a one simple Java program which illustrates the use of increment and decrement operator with a variables and constant. Okay. Here I am creating a one class test. In this class I am defining the main method. In the main method, here I am declaring and initializing the variable a. Okay. After in the next statement, here I am pre-incrementing the value of a variable a and assigning the incremented value to a variable b. Okay. Initially, find out the value of b. Check here. Initial value of a is 10. This is a pre-increment. First a value becomes 11. After that it will assign to a variable b. Now the value of b is 11. Okay. But see in the next statement what I am doing here in this statement, but this is a comment line, this will not be executed. But see here what I am doing, b is equal to 10 plus plus, that means post increment. But here we are using this post increment operator with a constant. So this statement leads to a compile time error. So if you want to check this statement, uncomment this statement. ಈ ಲೈನ್ ಅನ್ನು ಏನು ಮಾಡಿ ಕಮೆಂಟ್ ಲೈನ್ ಅನ್ನು ರಿಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ನಿಮಗೆ ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಂಪೈಲ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಎರರ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Okay, after that here I am displaying the value of b using a println statement. Close the main method and close the class. Okay, and when we execute this program, we will get a output as a 11. You can write a statement within the println like b is equal to plus b. This is also valid, or simply you can directly print the value of b. So let us check this program by uncommenting this line. Okay, see here I copied the same program, and here I am changing the class name because in bin folder already one file is there with a name test. That's why I am changing the name here, and save this program in a bin folder. So the path is already in bin folder. Test file name is test1.java. Okay, save this program. So once you saved, open the command prompt and change the path. Okay, next step is compile the program by using a Java C compiler and pass the file name as an argument. Our file name is test1 with the extension .java. Okay, see here. Our program is successfully compiled. Why? Because still here this line is commented. Okay, so execute this program using the Java interpreter. So the output is 11. Okay, now uncomment this line, remove the comment line, save the program. Okay, again compile the program. So when you compile, you will get a error like this: unexpected type, required variable. So this value must be a variable. If this is a variable, the program will be successfully compiled, but this is a constant. In this case, we will get a compile time error. Okay, got the point? Okay. So let us see the next one. So again, the next point is increment or decrement operators must the nesting of both increment and decrement operators are not allowed. So we must not nest at the both the operators. See here I wrote one example. So in this case, here I am creating again one class test and main method. In the main method, declaring a variable a is equal to 10 and initializing it value is equal to 10. And here, see here, this is the nesting of increment operator. Or if it is a decrement operator, even though both decrement nesting of both the increment and decrement operator operators is not allowed in a Java programming language. We must not do like this. If you do like this, again we will get a compile time error. Okay. So if you compile this error, you will get a error like unexpected type. Okay. So try this program yourself only, execute and find out whether we will get a error or not. Okay. And see the next point. So as I told, the increment operator and decrement operator must be used with the variables only. In this case, a variable must not be a final variable. Okay, if we declare a variable with a final variable, in that case the value cannot be altered. That's why we must not use the increment and decrement operator with a final variables. See here, again I wrote a one more example for this statement or for this point. See here I am declaring a variable, final variable a and initializing its value 10. Once we declared this variable as a final, this value must not be altered, but in the next statement here I am incrementing the value of a. This gives a compile time error. Okay, so here I am printing the value of p, but the program will give a compile time error as a cannot assign a value to a final variable. Okay. So again execute this program, you will get what will be the compile time error. Okay. And next one, these increment and decrement variables can be used with these increment and decrement variables can be used with any other all primitive data types, but Boolean type variables must not be used for incrementing or decrementing the values. That is, increment or decrement operators can be used for all primitive data types except booleans. So let us see example for this. Here again I wrote one example. See here, Here I am declaring a variable b of type boolean and initializing the value of b as a false. But in the next statement I am incrementing the value of b, but this is not a legal statement. It gives a compile time error. That's why we must avoid a increment and decrement operator using with a boolean variables, boolean type variables. So if you do like this, you will get a compile time error as bad operand type boolean for unary operator. So this will be the error when we compile this program. Okay. Again execute this program and see the error or a compile time error. Okay. So this is about a increment and decrement operator. So this is about increment and decrement operators. So if you have any doubts, you can ask. It will be asked for 5 marks. Explain decrement and increment and decrement operators in Java with a suitable examples. So this will be asked for 5 marks for your examination. If you have any doubts, you can ask. Thank you.